Place. Place.
Remember, careful not to shift that left foot first.
I've noticed that.
Really plant it on the next one.
Place. All right. Place.
Nice. Go ahead and tell her free.
All right. Free.
Remember, free, pause. Okay. Perfect. All right. So if you notice, we're doing like a million repetitions, which is great,
Yep.
right? Because you do this for like a couple days of these really like small increments, like of all of this foundational stuff, because this first step is the hardest for the dog to be successful at. Once this is super, super solid, then everything else is easy.
Yeah.
Okay? So, she was up there for a pretty long time, right? And she just stayed up there the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's duration. Do you know what the other two D's are?
Nope. Honestly, no.
Distance.
Yeah.
So we're increasing our distance.
Mhm.
And then the third D is distraction, right? He's a distraction. He's doing great. But we can also be our dog's distraction. So as you start to build the duration, right? Because in order to get distance, we need to already have duration, right? Because it takes time just for us to move away. So we do the duration first, then we add the distance.
Yeah.
Once the duration and distance are at what I would consider a basic level, which is for the place bed, like 5 minutes up there, which she's easily doing, right? 6 feet away. Now we can add in mild distraction. So once we're about the end of a 6 foot leash, so this is maybe like a 5 or 6 foot leash, right? About 6 feet away, right? I can start to add in those distractions. Now, I'm gonna hold on to my leash, but what I can do is I can start by like moving around a little bit. I can walk side to side. I can talk, right? I can sing the alphabet song. I can say, hey, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Look at the weather's perfect. I love it when it's cloudy, right? These are all little distractions, right? Easy stuff, but we're gonna, again, just like those baby steps, we're increasing distractions incrementally as well. Now, we can do things like movement, right? We can also do things like sound, bananas, blueberries, watermelons, and then we can increase slowly whatever she can be successful at. Now, remember when we did our attention game, we use all sorts of crazy things like la, 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 to get our dog's attention. We don't want it to look exactly like that.
Okay.
So if I need to get my dog's attention, I'm going, hey, puppy, 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 puppy.
Yep.
That is very different from me just going, these are just happening, right? I'm not directing them at my dog. So when we add these distractions, it's essentially simulating the environment is happening around you, you stay there.
Alright.
Not, hey, I'm going to direct these directly at you. She's not ready for that yet.
Gotcha.
Okay? So let's try adding a little bit of distraction.
Once I go away from the bed.
Yep. So we're gonna tell our dog place.
Yep.
We're gonna square up. We're gonna take 1 to 2 steps away. Don't have to go very far. And all I want you to start to do, a little side to side, and then just go back and reward. Okay. Little baby stuff.
And so before we start, I just kind of forgot the first rule. So when we're this far away from the bed, she does place, do I do a click and reward?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So place.
Yep.
I can click and feed.
But once I'm at the side, I can just start mine.
Yep.
All right. I just want to make sure before we go on the bed. All right. Awesome. All right.
You can always reward her when she goes up there.
Yep.
You don't have to long term. Long term, you can send your dog to place,
Yeah.
and they won't get rewarded until maybe later.
Yeah.
Right now, day 1, we're gonna reward her as soon as she goes up there.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. Just want to verify.
Yep.
All right. Place.
Alright, another place.
Place.
Little baby step backwards, right there is good. Little side step, side step.
Up. All right.
Good, go to the side. Good. Awesome.
All right. And place.
distractions are just kind of happening.
Mhm.
We're not.
Going crazy.
At
Yeah,
our
in the
dog,
face.
right?
Yeah.
It's kind of what you were doing.
True.
So,
True. Yep.
Make sure, like,
Just do
we're
it.
we're just happening. We're not
Yep.
happening at you. We're just happening.
Correct. All right. Place.
Careful, don't fall on that leash.
Oh.
Go back
correct.
to the side.
Place.
Just rub it back of your head if she makes a mistake. Just be ready to say
Yep.
no.
Yep.
Good. The closer we get to ground level, the more distracted we become. So if we start to kind of come down here, look at that.
Nope. No.
There you go.
I didn't say no though.
You also didn't pop either.
Nope. Nope. I got. You're right. You just warned me.
Okay.
Yep.
It's all right. Like I said, it's gonna catch you off guard every
Yeah.
time.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Place.
Good. Go back to the side.
Mhm.
And just be wary of that leash hand, right? We
Mhm.
don't have to get too crazy with it. The most important thing is that we're keeping it nice and loose.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Place.
Excellent. Step back. Just kind of squat down a little bit, right there. Good. Go back to the side. Very good.
Place.
Good. Excellent. So give her a release and have her come off.
All right. All right. Free.
Excellent.
Up.
Go back to
Yep.
the side.
All right.
Free.
Free.
Left foot.
Yeah.
Walk forward. There
Mhm.
you go.
Thank you. Free.
It's okay. Just go back to her side again. Or, yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah,
Alright.
sometimes when you need your dog to come off, you tell them, you're free.
Mhm.
And they go, that's fine. I can stay here.
Yep.
You are free to stay there. Touche.
Yep.
But if we really want our dog to come off, then we're going to go,
Okay.
it's really fun to come off the bed. Right? Especially if we need to do more reps. So,
Okay.
okay. What questions do you have about that?
I guess nothing really. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Awesome. I love it. So when we're increasing, right, it's actually very easy to get from, that first step
Mm-hmm.
to being 50 feet away and have our dog stay there. That's why
Yep.
everyone's like, oh, I can leave my dog in a sit and like I can walk across the yard, right?
Mhm.
Super easy. But can you leave your dog there for 10 minutes? What if a strong breeze blows a piece of grass in front of them? They're gonna break, right? So what we're looking to do, if you want to increase the duration
Mm-hmm.
at the same rate as the distance, as the same rate as the distraction, right?
Yep.
So we're not trying to get 50 feet away, but have her break if someone bends down and tie their shoe, right? So as much as you can, like we're gonna increase the distraction until my
Mhm.
dog can be successful at this distance for 5 minutes, roughly, right?
Yep.
And if that's going really good, now we're gonna maybe push for 10 feet away and maybe 10 minutes, right? And then increase those distractions again. If I bring those distractions up and my dog can't be successful, then we need to take them down a little bit
Mhm.
until my dog can be successful at this distance. And then just continue to do it all at the same rate, okay? Duration is probably the one that people neglect,
Yep.
right? But being able to leave your dog on place for an hour straight is really helpful.
Yeah, it is. I know. I was trying to work on that, but it gets sometimes I guess boring for some dogs or for me.
It
But
should be.
yeah, I know he looks medically pretty bored out.
He is bored out of his mind right now, right? It's fine.
Yeah. Question. So, what happens if, since we are going further away from our dogs, how do we do correction?
So, if my dog breaks, I'm just going to say NO. And you know where your dog is probably going to break to? To you. Cool. So, as you get further away, you're going to have a long line.
Okay.
Right?
Oh,
You have a longer leash.
yeah.
As far as you're going to go, if you're going to go for 10 feet, you're going to have a 10 feet leash. If you're going to go for 15
Right.
foot leash, right? But if my dog breaks, they're probably going to come to me.
All right.
I'm going to say NO. The moment that foot hits the ground, right? As soon as the paw hits the ground, we're going to say no. And then I'm going to collect my leash. And when my leash So if my dog breaks and comes towards me, I'm gonna go, no. Place. Drag their butt back to the bed.
I guess I'm trying to ask, is it crucial for a dog to understand like the importance of no if you don't deliver the correction within like the time frame of actually saying no, you get what I mean? Like
Yeah.
would they fully understand like, okay, mom just said no,
Right.
I'm just gonna say lollygag.
So we had a couple opportunities to do corrections today, right? While we're close. This is where those corrections are really important, is when we're still working this close, pushing our dog,
okay.
right? Now the other thing is, this isn't the only exercise we're gonna use corrections. Once, she feels pretty confident with things like heel and sit, now we can use it with those behaviors as well, because this isn't the only thing we're teaching today.
Yep.
Believe it or not, we're also teaching our sit stay and our down stay.
Yep.
So my dog's in a down right now, right? Cool. While my dog is in this down, right? So let's pretend he's not on the place bed, and I told him to down, he's down. Cool. Down. Click. Feed. Down. Click. Feed. Down. Looks very familiar, doesn't it? Let's say my dog's in a sit. Sit. Click. Feed. Sit. Click. Feed. Right? So we're going to have a lot of opportunities because place is the easiest.
Yep.
She has been very successful this entire lesson. When you do this with your downstay, it's going to be harder for her to be as successful. And sit is the hardest one for her to be successful when it comes to stays, right? Now, the reason why we don't worry about corrections until we get to stay is because everything else we've done, right? When we did sit, she went into that sit position, we immediately marked, we were immediately released, right? There's no opportunity for her to break, which she wasn't supposed to, because immediately we were releasing her. Like with the place bed, as soon as she got on that first time, we immediately released her. We wanted her to be successful, and we didn't want to have to correct her. Now, we're giving her opportunities to make those decisions for herself and make those mistakes. But now you're going to take this same exact exercise and just replace the word place with down. Or replace the word place with sit. Don't do down yet. We haven't done down yet. Just do sit. Okay. Now, the other thing is, you can use corrections with your heel. If you're feeling that she's confident with it. She might not be there quite yet, but you can start to do your sit. If she's healing with you and she's feeling pretty good, right? Because like I said, normally we would start with you. So you'd be 3 weeks into healing before we do this. But if you tell her heel, and by some, fluke, that's the moment she's like butterfly, you can go, no, pop, heel. And remember, the heel position is just like the place bed, but it moves with us. The heel position is just a rectangle that's at our side. When I say heel, you'd be in this rectangle, right? So if I'm moving forward and I say heel, and she goes, what's that? No, pop towards the rectangle. If she gets ahead, no, pop backwards. The only time I really don't correct is for lagging, right? Because if my dog's lagging, it's probably because they're sleepy, they're tired, I don't want to be here, it's stupid. And I start going, no, oh, this sucks even more, right? So if my dog is lagging, I'm just going to go, and get them a little bit more excited. Okay? Ideally, she should be super excited. She has a tendency to forage, so I don't think you're going to have that problem. But if she's behind, either getting her excited, if we're at the point where we have a very high expectation that she should be in the heel position, and she's lagging, we'll talk about how we handle that with the leash later.
Okay.
For now, if she's lagging, don't correct her.
Okay.
If she is crowding, meaning she's coming around the front of you, you can go no, pop her this way. Just think about the rectangle is there, I'm popping towards the rectangle. Yep. And so you have to make a bit of a judgment call at that point. Does my dog know this? And for some dogs, rewarding, can create a very clear, ooh, this behavior, that's what's good, right? And they can just stick to it, without a whole lot of other guidance. Some dogs, they need the black and the white. So right now, when we're just rewarding, that's just one side of the equation. They go, it's half the information. But we can also say, like, this is really good, this is really good, this is really good, that is wrong. This is good, that's wrong. The bed is very black and white.
Okay.
My dog knows I'm either on the bed or I'm off the bed. I'm on the bed, I'm off the bed. Very black and white. The heel position is not black and white. This is correct.
Yep.
This is correct. 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 This is probably getting wrong. This is a lot wrong. Like, somewhere in here is wrong.
And then we're going to set that boundary.
But you have to decide. So it's your judgment call of what you're willing to accept as your heel position, right? You've seen me heel at club. I have a very strict, this is the one right answer, right?
That's me.
Gotcha. The one, like, the more specific you are about where she has to be, which is partly why I'm like, hey, put your thumb on your pant leg. Put your thumb on your pant leg.
Yep.
It gives you a bullseye, right? You have a big old target, and you can hit the target, but if you aim for that bullseye, you're much more likely to hit the target. We call it aim small, miss small. They use it in marksmanship.
Yep.
So you aim for that bullseye. You aim for a perfect picture, right? But you better know you either hit the target or you don't. And then you better have a very clear, this is wrong, this is right. As long as you can do that, start to use those corrections. As soon as, like, her shoulder goes past your pant leg, no pop, right? As soon as, like, if I'm standing up straight and out of the corner of my eye, I see her nose, no pop.
Yeah.
Whatever you gotta do to set that.
Alrighty, gotcha.
Cool. What questions do you have?
I feel like I had a question, but now I forgot. Okay. So when I go home and start doing my homework, we've been working on heel.
Good.
Now that we introduced this, I know what it is, should I still just start when I go home, just try to do heel work, or start implementing this?
You can do all 3 exercises.
Okay.
We've done heel,
Yep.
we've done sit, and now we've done place. But you should do them separately until they are all at least 90%.
Yeah.
Once they get to about 90% individually, you can start to combine the exercises.
And doing all in one session. Okay.
I don't like doing that. I like coming out and saying, hey, my heel needs work. Let me work on that today. Because I'm going to tell you what, place is very easy. You are going to love doing place because she's going to be very successful. You know, man, this feels great. My dog is really good. Then you go to try to heel and it's garbage, right? And it sucks because working on heel sucks. Everyone hates working on heel because it sucks.
A lot of mechanisms going on.
Yeah.
Yep.
So working on heel is really like, no one likes doing it, but it takes the longest. The progress is slow and it's really unpleasant.
Yeah.
But the more work you put into it now, the better it's going to be.
Right.
So ideally, I do focus most of my time on heel. Like I said, she picked this up in one lesson, right? So she's halfway done with place.
Yep.
Like
Right.
she's halfway to this,
Yeah.
essentially.
You're being bored out of mind.
Exactly. So like you don't have to dedicate a lot of time to place.
Yeah.
But if you feel like doing some place, do some place. Just have it be a separate session. Same thing with sit. Sit is a lot easier than heel. Place is easier than sit. So if you use that as your measurement, I would do a lot of heel, a bunch of sit, and some place.
Gotcha. Yeah, I figured. Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yeah. Do the stuff that you don't want to do first.
Correct. Correct.
That's a good question.
Very good.
The other thing too, like if you think about like the big reason why she's here is because the dog reacts, right? And so when is the reactivity the worst? Out for a walk, right? Going someplace, being someplace. So you want your healing to be really solid, really enjoyable for both of you.
Yeah.
So that way she's like, I love healing. Oh, this dog, that's fine. I love healing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Yep, I got you. And so, okay, and then like we talked about, so I'm doing some home, getting around the neighborhood, etc. Once we get it like pretty packed down, then we add a little bit of distraction, and I can bring like a place pad, mat, whatever it's called, to maybe a park, start working on that, etc. And you recommend that or not?
I don't start doing that yet.
No, I mean, yeah, but later
don't do it
on.
with the place bed
Yeah.
yet.
Okay.
We are going to do dog reactivity and dog neutrality, like in a very deliberate fashion.
Yep.
This is passive, right?
Yeah.
He is here,
Yep.
and we're working through it. It's fine. But we're not actively addressing the reactivity yet.
Yeah.
We are going to set up scenarios where we can address it specifically. I'm going to have all my dogs out in the yard.
Wow.
My dogs that are jerks, that will bark at the fence, that will do all sorts of crazy stuff to arouse her reaction. Right? 'Cause right now she's not reacting, which is great. But we're going to set up scenarios where she's going to have the impulse to react. And how do we handle that? Because that is something that, she's an older dog. It might be in the back of her brain for the rest of her life. And even after she has the best training in the world, it can creep back up.
Yeah.
Right? So we need to know how to handle it when it does.
Yeah.
What I don't want to do is I don't want to park my dog in front of something that they feel very strongly about and expect them to just sit there,
Yeah.
sit there, and then they're going to explode, right? We don't want that. We want to teach our dog, the moment you feel this way, do this. When you have that first inclination to do something bad, this is what I want you to do. So that way when she does see a dog, I want her to think, oh, treats. Right. I know, he moved. I'm sorry.
You forgot your fingers.
How dare you? Right? And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to do it in a very deliberate process.
Great,
So don't
great.
start addressing it at home.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm starting at home with few, like at least a bit of distractions, something to know with her area. Yeah, I understand that. I was wondering, like, when we get to that point, when I start my do my homework, should I, like, after we just started the pack and all that, should I start maybe taking her, like, several distance away from, like, there's dogs over there, or not? I was just asking.
I don't know.
Situation.
We'll have to, we'll cross that
Address
bridge when we
it,
get there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It also is a matter of like, do I just on a regular basis enjoy going and hanging out outside a dog park? No, it's not usually what I do. But I do like to go walk around my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right?
There'll be a dog.
There might be a dog.
Yeah.
Right?
Precisely.
So we want to train for real life. We want to train for what I want to do with my dog.
Yep.
So if I want to take my dog to, Lowe's, or if I want to take my dog to Home Depot, or if I want to take my dog to Hobby Lobby, and there's potential for another dog there, that's what we want to train for.
Yep.
Not necessarily sitting around watching a bunch of dogs dog fight in the dog park.
Yep. I know, right?
I mean, it's something you can do, but
Yeah.
I mean,
But,
let's use it as a proofing mechanism.
Yeah, because all we want is like, it is stressful. It's like when we go, because he lives in an apartment, and I take her out with the potties, and I gotta look around the corner. There's no dogs clear, so she can focus on using medicine. We go back inside, she doesn't bother me. So yeah, that's basically what we do. It's neutral. It's just these 1 or 2 dogs, and maybe we go to like the vets.
We also take baby steps too. We can
Yep.
do that with the dogs, right?
Yep.
So like, baby steps.
Yep.
So I can put him here. He's gonna lay there. He's gonna fall asleep. He's not gonna do anything, right?
Yep.
We can also then have him stand up on the placement, right? And she's gonna go, oh my god, I lose my mind. Baby steps. And then we can have him get up and turn around on the placement. And then we can have him get up and walk
Right.
around. Or we can have her walk closer to him, right? We can take these controlled baby steps. The problem is gonna be, in the real world, there is no control. Like, I can't stop someone from walking down the street because I'm not ready for them to get that close, right? So we have to try and proof for everything in a controlled setting. Everything that we think we're going to see before we take it out to the real world, where it's going to catch us by surprise. Where I don't want to have to be checking around every corner. I want to be prepared that if a dog pops out from behind a corner, I've trained for this. So,
Yep. Precisely. That's what I precisely what I thought.
Yeah.
Thought is. Yeah. Okay.
this time.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Alrighty.
Cool. And then I will see you on Sunday.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, and hopefully he will bring me. I think he is not working that day, so.
Oh, fun. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
So we'll bring Nala and Holly, the big horse dog.
Here, let me.
Oh yeah,
stop
that's so
recording.
great. Thank you so much for
Like-
doing that.
And then I can just. Do you have an iPhone?
I have unfortunately Android.
Gross.
So